17 unrecognizable 90s heartthrobs whose faces changed everything. They didn't just play romantic leads on screen, they were the definition of timeless beauty, the kind of men whose jawlines launched careers, whose smiles sold millions of tickets, and whose natural charisma made them Hollywood royalty. But here's what nobody tells you about being a heartthrob in the age of HD cameras and social media. Time is your enemy, and the pressure to stay forever young is absolutely relentless. These 17 men discovered that maintaining their status came with a price far higher than surgery bills. Some found brilliant surgeons who subtly enhanced their features. Others became cautionary tales that textbooks still reference today. What makes number 3 on our list particularly shocking is that fans initially refused to believe the transformation was even real. But before we dive into today's jaw-dropping journey, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. I read every single comment and love connecting with 90s nostalgia enthusiasts around the world. Let's begin with the most documented transformation in Hollywood history. Number 17, Mickey Rourke. Before Mickey Rourke became the poster child for procedures gone wrong, he was genuinely one of the most beautiful men in cinema. In 1986's 9.5 Weeks, Rourke possessed dangerous, smoldering good looks that made him an overnight sensation. Then came the boxing. Between 1991 and 1994, Rourke stepped away from acting to pursue professional fighting, suffering multiple broken noses, shattered cheekbones, and severe facial trauma. Sources close to Rourke say he won 6 of his 8 professional fights, but the physical cost was devastating. What many don't realize is that Rourke's transformation wasn't vanity. It started as medical necessity. Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of the boxing, Rourke admitted in 2009, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. That single decision triggered a cascade of corrections. Rourke underwent 5 nose jobs attempting to fix previous failures. Each surgery created new problems requiring additional procedures. Industry observers note he likely had cheekbone reconstruction, multiple facelifts, and extensive work with fillers. Perhaps most telling about Rourke's ordeal is his candor. Unlike many celebrities who hide behind PR spin, Rourke has been brutally honest. In 2017, he posted on social media after yet another nose surgery, writing, "Now I am pretty again," with a knowing wink. In 2023 to 2024, Ben Affleck made high-profile appearances looking dramatically different. At Netflix's roast of Tom Brady, observers noted his face appeared unnaturally smooth, his expressions somewhat restricted. Unlike subtle transformations that accumulate gradually, Affleck's change appeared to happen relatively quickly. Fans and medical experts speculated about procedures including facelifts, extensive use of injectables, and possibly neck work. What distinguished Affleck's experience was the obviousness of the work. His face looked tight in a way that suggested dramatic intervention rather than subtle maintenance. The public reaction was swift. Industry observers noted that Affleck had previously undergone successful dental work in 1998 that enhanced rather than altered his appearance. His recent procedures crossed a different line. Film critic Jonathan Ross recently commented, "You can see there's been a bit of tweaking going on there," suggesting Affleck's work was too visible to be truly successful.
I'm gonna beat your. Do you want to do that here or outside? Outside.
Tom Cruise's relationship with aesthetic procedures is perhaps the most publicly documented in Hollywood, making him an ideal case study in the spectrum between excellence and disaster. In 1986, Cruise had one notable aesthetic issue: misaligned teeth. Upon becoming a major star, he underwent dental work that transformed his smile. This was smart work that genuinely improved his appearance without crossing into absurdity. Fast forward to the 2010s, when Cruise began showing signs of facial work. But by 2016 at the BAFTA Awards, the toll became evident. Cruise appeared puffy, his face visibly inflated, likely from excessive filler. Medical experts analyzing his 2016 photos noted he looked as if he had under-eye filler and filler around his mouth, with visible swelling. The public response was merciless. What's fascinating about Cruise's journey is the recovery. By 2018 to 2023, his appearance improved noticeably. Whether through dissolving fillers or consulting better practitioners, Cruise managed to look less artificially enhanced while still maintaining youthfulness. Most tellingly, Cruise has consistently denied surgical procedures. In a 2012 interview, he stated flatly, "I haven't and I never would." Yet sources close to the actor told media in 2025, "It's no secret Tom's had cosmetic work done."
Oh, that's a groovy. Have mercy. Hi.
Hi, you must be Jesse, Danny's brother-in-law. Danny told me about you.
Number 14, John Stamos. Uncle Jesse from Full House defined 90s cool with his leather jacket and perfect hair. But in his 2023 memoir, John Stamos made a surprising confession. He'd undergone not 1, but 2 nose jobs early in his career. Let's call it what it was: vanity. Stamos wrote candidly. Sources say he first consulted surgeons around the time he landed his breakout role, seeking to slim his nose for a more conventionally handsome appearance. What's remarkable is that his procedures were successful enough to be nearly invisible. Industry experts note his work was conservative, enough to refine his features without fundamentally altering them. Stamos even joked about choosing the same surgeon who worked on Michael Jackson, though observers note he wisely stopped at subtle refinement. The Stamos lesson: sometimes modest tweaks, done well, can achieve goals without creating obvious work, but it requires restraint and knowing when to stop.
Slap windward brace and sheet.
Slap windward brace and sheet.
Hold the pennant line.
Hold the pennant line.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No!
Number 13, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's transformation wasn't driven by cosmetic procedures. It was driven by self-destruction followed by recovery. In the early 90s, Depp was the ultimate Hollywood heartthrob with sharp cheekbones and soulful eyes. Then came years of reported challenges and visible physical deterioration. By 2023, observers noted his teeth had become noticeably discolored. Rather than cosmetic surgery, Depp's transformation resulted from lifestyle choices. What's extraordinary about Depp's 2024 to 2025 arc is his commitment to restoration. Reports emerged of comprehensive restoration work, and Depp began appearing with a renewed smile and healthier appearance. Sources close to the actor say this wasn't cosmetic surgery. It was choosing health over destruction. The Depp lesson: sometimes the most powerful transformation isn't about enhancement, it's about restoration.
How does she feel about you stealing her life?
Borrowing her life. I'm dedicating the book to her. She's pleased.
Number 12, Jude Law. Jude Law represented the British intellectual heartthrob with devastating good looks. Films like The Talented Mr. Ripley established him as Hollywood's thinking woman's crush. But by 2010, observers noticed Law's most visible aging marker: significant hair loss. Comparing photos from Sherlock Holmes to his 2020 appearance, fans immediately noticed his hairline had dramatically improved. Medical experts believe Law underwent hair transplantation using the FUE technique, where individual hair grafts are moved from the back of the scalp to thinning areas. What separates Law from many others is his strategic focus. Rather than pursuing comprehensive facial rejuvenation, he addressed his single most aging feature. Sources say the results appear natural, with no obvious appearance that plagued earlier techniques. The Law lesson: sometimes addressing one specific concern can restore overall youthfulness more effectively than pursuing multiple procedures. Number 11, Christian Slater. Christian Slater's 90s appeal combined bad boy edge with surprising vulnerability, but personal challenges in his 30s resulted in visible aging and physical deterioration. Sources say his recovery included not just addressing personal issues, but also aesthetic restoration. Observers believe Slater underwent facelift surgery, hair transplantation, and regular maintenance to restore the appearance he'd lost during difficult years. Unlike transformations driven by vanity, Slater's procedures seemed aimed at reclaiming himself after personal crisis. What's remarkable is the public reception. Fans viewed Slater's aesthetic work with sympathy rather than criticism. His hair restoration particularly stands out as successful, with observers noting his fuller hairline suggesting skilled transplantation. The Slater lesson: context matters enormously. When procedures are perceived as recovery rather than vanity, public reception shifts dramatically. Number 10, Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom burst onto screens as Legolas in Lord of the Rings, though his 90s modeling career established his heartthrob credentials. What separates Bloom from many peers is his apparent commitment to preventative rather than corrective procedures. Speculation about Bloom includes laser treatments, strategic use of injectables for jawline definition, and possibly subtle eye work. Yet these appear implemented gradually, resulting in an appearance that looks primarily natural while maintaining youthfulness. Industry observers note Bloom has also spoken publicly about holistic wellness approaches. This comprehensive strategy combining preventative cosmetic work with lifestyle choices appears successful in maintaining his appearance without obvious signs of overcorrection. Number 9, Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's transformation from Mickey Mouse Club teen to Blade Runner 2049 leading man has been marked by such subtlety that pinpointing specific procedures remains genuinely difficult. Comparing early photos to recent appearances, some observers note his nose appears slimmer, suggesting possible rhinoplasty. Medical experts also point to volume in his cheeks and under eyes that some attribute to strategic filler placement. Yet here's what's crucial: Gosling's changes are so incremental and natural looking striking that they inspire far less gossip than his peers. Professional analyses suggest Gosling likely underwent early intervention with procedures like facial fillers and possibly subtle eye work, but if so, they've been maintained with remarkable consistency. One plastic surgeon noted, "The hallmark of excellent cosmetic work is that you can't quite identify it." The Gosling lesson. The most impressive enhancement might be the one that doesn't look like enhancement at all. Number 8. Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio's aging trajectory has been analyzed frame by frame by cosmetic surgeons. At 19, DiCaprio was boyishly handsome with natural features. By his 30s, experts noticed his eyebrows maintaining unusual positions, suggesting strategic use of preventative injectables. What's remarkable about DiCaprio is the conservative nature of his apparent procedures. Unlike dramatic overhauls, his face has aged relatively naturally while maintaining subtle youthfulness. Professional plastic surgeons estimating his cosmetic investment place it around $20,000, modest by Hollywood standards. Recently, DiCaprio faced speculation about weight loss-related facial changes. In 2025, observers noted he appeared noticeably thinner, leading medical experts to speculate about rapid weight loss causing facial hollowing.
Until that dog arrived on my doorstep. A final gift from my wife.
Number 7. Keanu Reeves. Perhaps no actor has aged with more consistent grace than Keanu Reeves. At 61, Keanu looks genuinely remarkable, yet speculation about his procedures remains surprisingly uncertain. This ambiguity itself reveals something important. Excellent work or excellent genetics can be genuinely difficult to distinguish. Medical experts note that Keanu appears to have Asian heritage, which matters because Asian skin typically ages more gradually due to higher melanin content. This natural advantage makes it harder to determine how much credit belongs to genetics versus procedures. Speculation includes conservative use of preventative injectables, possible laser resurfacing given his incredibly clear skin, and possibly subtle volume restoration. Yet even these speculations come with significant uncertainty. Number 6. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's story differs fundamentally because his transformation wasn't cosmetic, it was survival. The golden-haired heartthrob of Top Gun and The Doors faced throat issues that required medical intervention, fundamentally altering his appearance and voice. What many don't realize is that Kilmer's changed face reflects medical necessity rather than aesthetic choice. His 2021 documentary Val presented his transformation not as tragedy, but as part of his continuing story. Film critic Roger Ebert once observed that Kilmer's authentic charisma transcended physical appearance. Even with his changed face, Kilmer remained engaging. Industry insiders note that his willingness to continue working despite physical transformation demonstrates a different kind of courage. Sadly, Kilmer passed away in April 2025 at age 65. His journey reminds us that not all facial transformations are cosmetic choices. Some are unavoidable results of necessity. Number 5. John Travolta. John Travolta defined 70s cool with Grease and remained a 90s megastar through Pulp Fiction, but observers have noted his appearance transformed significantly, particularly his remarkably smooth upper face. Medical experts observing Travolta note his forehead appears to have no wrinkles, so he has plenty of injectables and likely volume enhancement. Sources also point to possible chin or cheek work on top of hair restoration. What's particularly interesting is his famous decision to shave his head and grow a thick beard, a style choice that may strategically draw attention away from facial work. One observer quipped that the hair on his head has moved south to his chin. Unlike some dramatic overhauls, Travolta's work appears relatively conservative and successful. He doesn't look dramatically different, just suspiciously well preserved for his age. Number 4. Kirk Douglas. Before becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Kirk Douglas fought his way up from extreme poverty through sheer force of will. Born to Jewish immigrants, Douglas grew up in a home so poor that his family sometimes went without food. But Douglas channeled his hardscrabble upbringing into becoming a legitimate collegiate wrestler. What separated Douglas from other actors was his combination of physical power and indomitable will. Director Stanley Kubrick once admitted, Kirk was an absolute force of nature. When he decided something was going to happen, it happened. Unlike many on this list, Douglas appears to have largely avoided cosmetic procedures throughout his career. His face aged naturally, developing character lines that actually enhanced his screen presence rather than diminishing it. Industry observers noted that Douglas's authentic aging made him more compelling, not less. Perhaps most telling about Douglas's genuine toughness was his recovery from a severe helicopter crash in 1991. Though in his 70s at the time, Douglas fought through lengthy rehabilitation. Then, after suffering a severe In 1996, Douglas underwent years of therapy and published a book about his recovery, The Douglas Lesson. Sometimes the most powerful choice is accepting the natural aging process. His authentic appearance arguably served him better than any enhancement could have.
And my real name is Brad Pitt. I was born with it. And on this show, it's Walker Lovejoy.
Number 3, Brad Pitt. If Mickey Rourke represents the extreme of what can go wrong, Brad Pitt represents something far more intriguing. The possibility that subtle, expert work can genuinely confound even professionals. By 2020, Brad Pitt was undeniably aging. Fine lines appeared around his eyes, his face had lost definition, and his skin showed natural effects of time. Then, between 2020 and 2024, something shifted. By his 60th birthday, Pitt looked nearly as fresh-faced as he did in 1995. What's remarkable is what Pitt allegedly hasn't done. Experts consistently note the absence of telltale signs of traditional facelifts. No excessively taut skin, no visible scars, no loss of facial expressiveness. Instead, cosmetic surgeons theorize Pitt may have undergone subtle volume restoration through strategic filler placement combined with regular injectable maintenance and possibly laser resurfacing. A viral TikTok video by aesthetics doctor Dr. Johnny Betteridge analyzed Pitt's transformation, comparing 2020 photos to 2023 appearances. Betteridge highlighted visible changes, slight volume loss around eyes and cheeks, a smoother lower face and jawline, and an overall refreshed appearance that he argued would be difficult to achieve non-surgically. Most intriguingly, Betteridge claimed to identify a subtle scar near Pitt's earlobe, a potential indicator of a minimal facelift. Yet even this remains speculation, as the changes are so subtle they could potentially be attributed to excellent skincare and genetics. Sources close to Pitt reportedly told media outlets that he remains committed to healthy aging philosophy, emphasizing wellness over intervention. Yet fans struggle to attribute his wrinkle-free skin and firm facial structure to skincare alone. What Pitt appears to have mastered is the art of the invisible procedure, maintaining youthfulness without telltale signs that scream cosmetic work. This approach requires not just a talented surgeon, but also restraint, time, and significant financial investment in preventative treatments. Number 2, Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum's legendary cool on screen wasn't an act. It was the natural demeanor of a man who had survived genuine hardship before becoming a Hollywood star. Unlike many actors who simply played tough guys, Mitchum had lived a life that made his screen personas seem tame by comparison. What separated Mitchum from other screen icons was his complete lack of bravado about aging. Director Edward Dmytryk once observed, Bob never had to prove anything. He simply was authentic, and everyone around him could sense it. Mitchum's approach to aging was revolutionary for his era. He simply aged. No procedures, no interventions, no desperate attempts to freeze time. His face developed character lines and weathering that actually enhanced his screen presence. When asked about his seemingly effortless portrayal of complex characters, Mitchum offered this insight. I kept the same expression for 40 years, and it worked just fine. What he didn't add was that the expression, combining world weariness, latent danger, and cynical intelligence, wasn't created for the camera, but developed through real experiences. Number 1, Anthony Quinn. Anthony Quinn's powerful presence on screen wasn't crafted in acting classes. It was forged through a grinding poverty and physical labor. Born in Mexico during the Mexican Revolution, what made Quinn particularly unique among Hollywood's leading men was his complete lack of concern about maintaining a youthful image. Unlike many actors who carefully cultivated their appearance both on and off screen, Quinn was comfortable showing vulnerability and emotion, crying on screen without fear of appearing weak. This confidence in his own masculinity came from a man who had nothing to prove about his toughness. Quinn understood something that eluded many of his peers. Authentic power doesn't require a youthful face. Co-star Sophia Loren once said, Anthony had the body of a warrior and the soul of a poet. He could lift you with one arm and then discuss art with a sensitivity that would surprise people. That combination made him absolutely magnetic on screen and off. In his autobiography, Quinn offered this perspective. I've played boxers, strong men, and laborers because I understand their world. Before Hollywood, my hands were calloused from real work. When I portray these men, I'm not pretending, I'm remembering. The Quinn lesson, true power comes from authenticity, not from fighting against nature. The most magnetic presence often comes from someone comfortable in their own skin at every age. And that wraps up our journey through Hollywood's transformations. 17 heartthrobs who discovered that the fountain of youth often comes with unexpected consequences. From Mickey Rourke's cautionary tale to Brad Pitt's seemingly impossible perfection, from Tom Cruise's roller coaster to Anthony Quinn's authentic embrace of aging, these men represent every possible approach to Hollywood's most relentless pressure. What emerges from these stories 90s isn't a simple narrative about vanity or the dangers of cosmetic enhancement. It's a complex tale about the intersection of economics, psychology, and time. These men operated within a system that demanded youthfulness as the price of continued relevance. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more content exploring the golden era of cinema. Which of these transformations surprised you most? Thank you for joining me for this look at the extraordinary journeys of 17 men who discovered that time waits for no one, not even Hollywood's most beautiful faces.